Welcome to the I Create Daily podcast. I'm Leora Alderson.
And I'm Devani Alderson. We're your co-hosts on this journey of creativity and productivity.
I Create Daily is for artists in every genre of creating, from musicians to writers, crafters to inventors, bloggers to entrepreneurs. I Create Daily is a movement for creators serious about your art.
If you're into creating anything, this podcast is definitely for you. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the I Create Daily podcast. This is a coffee break, and I'm Devani.
And I'm Leora.
And on these coffee breaks, we talk about ideas, people, and we haven't done one in a while, and so we talk about things that are interesting going on in our world or that we've been listening to or tuning into lately. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about family businesses, and the topic comes up, because we run a family business. We run multiple businesses and websites that various members of the family are part of, or all of us are part of, and different configurations. And also this morning, on the morning in which we are filming this, I was listening to a podcast on Gary's YouTube channel.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk's YouTube channel. I just assume everybody, when I say Gary, knows exactly what I mean.
If somebody listens to us regularly, they do.
I know.
But we'll always have new listeners, so you should probably elaborate, right?
So on Gary Vaynerchuk's podcast or YouTube video, he had a lady named Madison or Maddie. Anyway, she's a slimer on YouTube, and she makes slime on YouTube. She started in 2016. She's like a middle schooler.
As in the fat of slime, not as in they're slandering her in any way.
Right. She makes this like gooey substance. We'll put a link of it. It's really weird, but
probably everybody's heard of by now just because it even made news. But
it's like it's the other trend to the fidget spinner, and so she creates this substance and she sells it on her Instagram. And what I found really cool was that her whole family is involved in her slime business. So something that started out as sort of like, she wasn't super into it. Some of her friends brought some slime to school, and that's how she heard about it. And she kind of thought it was gross at first, which it kind of looks gross when you see it. But she then created slime and started selling it. And then her family got involved, and she and her family created the first live slime event conference, like a live conference, which I think they mentioned has been going on for like 2 or 3 years now, or something like that. I don't know all the details. We'll link the episode. But and her little sister is also starting to make slime herself and sort of learn about it. And what struck me as really cool was how, even though it wasn't something that any of those family members knew anything about, it was just something that was an interest, and then everybody got involved. And I think that's how a lot of our endeavors start. One of us has some random fascination with starting something new, and then we're all like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. This is the 5 different ways we could go with that. Yeah. And just the idea of family business and learning and doing it with your parents and kids and all that stuff is really cool.
Well, and being open to, the quote that we use that a lot, that it is on the journey that the way becomes more clear. And also, we're not big proponents of long-term business plans or long-term planning even. We are very much proponents of envisioning your future and where you want to go and your goals and your future vision, like your dream boarding, vision boarding, all of that. Casting plans of who you want to become in the world, even all the way to the experience you want to have on your deathbed, looking back through your life, the things you want to have made sure that you've done and achieved and what have you experienced. But when it comes to planning goals, then 90 days at a time is very much a powerful way to do it, and the best way, because looking so far in the future, we can be overwhelmed with how far a journey it is.
Yeah.
And
you never know how it's fully going to play out either.
Right. In a recent coffee break, we talked about the concept of planning a journey based on East Coast to West Coast and what you would have to do if you're on that journey. But imagine if we were pioneers planning that journey, and there's like it's just overwhelming, and you have no idea all that you're going to encounter. And it's actually a very apt analogy to the concept of planning your business and your creative endeavors for many of us. And so in this case, where, you know, the family was open to possibilities, and wasn't it cool that it was something that one of the kids was really interested in became the thing for them, and no one ever could have predicted that 2 or 3 years ago, before slime was ever a thing. She
started in like 2016 as just this random thing she was vaguely interested in, and then it just grew from there. And I think what's really cool too, the dad was talking about he was talking about, instead of like, if your kid has a specific passion and you're a parent and you're just, because they thought as parents, they were like, oh, she's just into the next fad. And it's easy to say that. Like, it's easy to look at these different trends on the internet and say, oh, that's just a fad. And that might be true. It might be a fad. It might just be around for a flash of a minute. But I think what he said that was poignant was, like, you never know. And if your kid, or even if you're not a kid and you're interested in something, even if it is a fad, the fact that you want to make the most of it for that time and just sort of capitalize on the moment of people's interest in a certain topic and you're interested in it, then I don't think there's ever anything wrong with that, you know?
No, well, and you know, there's so many things that are part of this, so many aspects that we could go into. So my challenge is going to be like, you know, kind of like the challenge with new opportunities, right? It's like there are so many, then that's part of the issue. It's like, okay, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. And we stay open to possibility. We stay open to opportunities and interests along the way. And how does it that we identify those that are the most viable, potentially viable, versus, you know, chasing the next shiny object kind of thing. And I think that in this case, it's sort of like checking the boxes. You know, is it something that everyone's interested in, or could be? Because while the mom and dad, or the dad may not have been interested in making slime, he might have a business mind that could help them learn the online things, systems.
Like,
or
none
the
of
mom
them
could be the marketer and salesperson, while the kids learn how to make the slime.
They had this crisis. Apparently there was a glue shortage, and so the daughter asked, like, well, how do we make glue? And now they sell glue for slime. So it's not just slime, they sell glue for slime, because she was just like, well, hey, how do we make it, since we can't buy it because everywhere? And then they were like, we could have it imported from China. There's just so many aspects of how they went into, like, how they were getting it from China, and automatically that makes it cheaper, which is great for them and their costs and all that. And it was just really interesting seeing the dynamic of the daughter and the dad, and how they were talking about how this was clearly an endeavor that all of them were involved with, and helping each other figure out the nuance, because none of them had done entrepreneurial things before. And so just being open to all these different possibilities together was really cool.
And so, you know, part of where we come at this is, like, for those in our audience, whether or not you have children, it's still relevant relative to opportunities for you in your life and opportunities for you in your business. And that is, if you don't have it all figured out, that's absolutely okay. Be open to possibilities. I tend to like to say, walk through every open door of opportunity. Look around and see if it's for you. And if not, then keep on going in the direction that you know you want to go. So let's say that you're someone who you're working a regular job, 9 to 5, whatever, and you're not in love with it, and you really want to do something that you're more passionate about, but you're not sure what that is. Then just begin to pay attention to things that really light you up, that really inspire you, and then begin doing something along those lines. Just something. You know, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have an end result in mind, but that begins the process of opening up opportunities and possibilities and ideas. Or let's say that you know what you want to do, but not how it is you're going to do it. And that's where, again, the I Create Daily brand is all about doing something daily in the direction of your dreams. You know, again, if we're building even the Great Wall of China, or a Colosseum, or whatever it is that's huge, out of concrete bricks, it's still one brick at a time, or one block at a time.
And one day at a time.
And one day at a time.
It's overwhelming. Well, that just reminded me, we interviewed Bruna Mebs, who is an ink artist and a watercolor artist, but mostly an ink artist. And she mentioned that when she got started, she gave herself a 90-day window of opportunity. So she broke down, sorry, the dogs are distracting. Okay, what Bruna did was she took a 90-day window, and within 30 chunks, she tried a different medium. She knew she was going to be a visual artist, and she knew it was going to be, she was going to be selling this art and wanting to make a viable business out of selling her art, but she wasn't sure what medium that she wanted to hone in on because she was good at several different types. And so she said, okay, for the first 30 days, I'm going to try ink. For the second 30 days, I'm going to do watercolor. And for the last 30 days, I think it was acrylic. I don't remember. But anyway, she committed to a chunk of time to allow herself to learn something new and get beyond the mild fascination. You know, because sometimes we start something new and then a couple days later we're like, yeah, I'm over it. But if we were just to give ourselves a couple more weeks to immerse in it, we might find how interesting it is or how much we enjoy it getting over the learning curve.
Yeah.
And so allowing yourself to sink into a process of figuring out what you like is a good stepping stone.
Yeah, and so seeing the opportunities and seizing the opportunities, and there are so many more now than ever before to basically create your own business. And no, it's not easy. It is a long journey, but again, that's not what you focus on. You focus on, you know, what's next, basically. You focus on what's next and you enjoy the journey, especially.
And maybe a family running a family business isn't something you can do. Maybe that's not at all anything your family is interested in. Maybe your kids aren't interested. Maybe your parents aren't interested. But maybe you have people in your life where these things can apply still. Maybe you have friends who would be interested or connections that you know who would love the experience of trying something new like that. And so all those principles can work. And I think the biggest thing is just starting on the ideas and seeing how it grows and being open to how it grows and who grows with the idea. Yeah,
definitely. And along those lines, so if there are any in our audience, if you're listening and you're are interested in, let's say that you're homeschooling or interested in homeschooling, that you are a family with children, and that's something that you're doing or would love to do, if you want to hear more about that and would like us to talk more about the concept of family business, as well as incorporating entrepreneurship and family business, running a family business, and the doing of family businesses together as a part of your homeschooling and homeschooling curriculum, let us know, because it's one of our favorite subjects to talk about is the kind of concept of all the many possibilities with homeschooling and teaching kids.
And hack schooling and build a business schooling.
Exactly. Unschooling and all of that. So for instance, Devani started serving her first social media clients when she was 15 as a part of learning the concept of entrepreneurship and serving clients and even social media and business etiquette and how to offer incredible service and that sort of thing. So I mean, there's so many avenues. But even if you're interested in homeschooling but not doing your own business or interested in doing a family business, again, if you're interested in this homeschooling or schooling curriculum and the kind of concept of how to create your own curriculum from the areas of interest, your children's interests, then let us know and we'll be glad to do more on that. You can send us an email at creators@icreatedaily.com. That's creators@icreatedaily.com. Tell us what you're interested in, amongst any of those topics or the other things that we talked about. We'll be sure to do more sessions on that, as well as interview other people related to that.
Definitely.
So I think that's it for now.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks so much for joining us for the I Create Daily podcast. Please let us know what creatives you would like us to interview and what topics you would be interested in hearing more about.
And if you enjoyed this show, please leave a review on iTunes. We value your feedback. We read all the reviews, and it just helps us get the word out on the I Create Daily podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.